Greetings, welcome to the Into the Cypher podcast. It is your boy, Cypher the MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs, back with you once again. You know, we made it through another week, so we're getting prepared for another week. So hopefully we can jumpstart this week off. Positive energy, positive vibes, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, DJ, where you at, my boy? There you go. If you're new to the podcast, you're in for a treat. If you've been rocking with your boy for a minute, thank you so much for just continuing to tune in, continuing to help the Cypher Nation grow. Continue to share the podcast. We're trying to take over all 7 continents. We're trying to be in all 7 continents. So I appreciate you if you're rocking with me on YouTube, The Real Cypher TV. Guess what? I appreciate you there as well. And as always, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. I really do. Don't want to get any copyright, so got to give him credit. Shout out to Jay-Z. You know we got to get through our disclaimers and all that good stuff. So here we go. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm not a relationship expert, sex therapist. I'm not a guru of any kind. I don't have any masters or doctors on my wall from Harvard. I am just a regular. Say it with me now. A regular Joe Schmo. Just a regular guy giving you the benefit of his experience as we look at life from a different perspective, as we continue to be on this journey to be the best versions that we can be. And I say we because I'm on this journey with you. You know, I'm on this journey with you. So I'm not preaching from a soapbox. We're going to get through this thing together. We're going to grow. We're going to jump right into it. But before I do, shout out to my boy Ken, Platinum Cuts. Got his own thing right now, so I appreciate you, Ken, hooking your boy up. Your boy looking crispy. You know what I'm saying? The boy looking crispy. You know what I'm saying? IG worthy, as I always call it. IG worthy. Ken, thank you and everything. Recently engaged. You know what I'm saying? He's off the market, ladies. We're about to get into this topic, and it's very, it should be a no-brainer. But we're talking about humans here, so sometimes we got to kind of get ourselves right, so to speak. And you seen the title, Don't Waste God's Overtime. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what in the world, Cypher? What are you talking about, my boy? What are you talking about? Don't waste God's overtime? I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know. There's things that we can control. There's things that we cannot control. I'm a big advocate of understanding that. If you understand that concept, then guess what? 90% of what I'm about to say, you're already on board with.
There's facts.
I don't have to convince you. I don't have to say, hey, you know, I don't have to pull out charts and graphs and things of that nature. You know, oh my gosh, look at this. When you carry the one, it's right there. If you understand that there are things that you can control, things that you cannot control, 90%, you're good. If you get past that part, guess what? Understanding that means that you have control over a majority of things in life. When you wake up, you can set your timer for 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You have control over that. You can choose to leave early for work, or you can choose to go at a later time, but you understand the risk of getting into more traffic and, you know, not getting to work on time. You understand those concepts. What we cannot control, we should, that's the operative word here, we should leave in the Creator's hands. When we try to control everything, that is normally when we mess up. That is normally when we come to those issues and those problems that we often create for ourselves, because we don't wait on God. We want to control everything ourselves, even things that we cannot control. We want to be in control of everything. And then when things go sideways, now we want to pray. Now we want to hope. Now we want to, oh my gosh, where is he? He said he wouldn't forsake me. He didn't forsake you. He's just on the sidelines waiting for you to call his number to come in. I mean, think about it. Most players on a football team, they don't just go in there without the coach saying, hey, this is what you're going to be doing on this. All right, you go in there for so-and-so. God's the same way. He gave us free will to come to him willingly, to come to him freely. When we have a problem or issue, we should go to him freely. When we have, anything that we need, we should go to him freely. Except we can be a little bit stubborn, right?
Yep.
We can be a little bit stubborn. Come on now, don't shake your head at me. I see you. I see you. Don't shake your head. Of course you can be stubborn. Of course you can be like, well, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. You can do a scenario, you can do a simple task 100 times. That one time that you do it, something can change, some variable can change that you may not have even been aware of. Now you're thrown out of whack. Now you don't know what to do. Now you got this, oh my gosh, I never had this problem before. Now you're panicking. You're running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And how long does that happen anyway? If a chicken gets his head cut off, how long is it running around for? Has anyone timed this?
What?
Let me know. Somebody let me know. Like someone has actually cut off a chicken's head and just watched. Just like, all right, that was 15 seconds. I mean, just let me know. It's one of those phrases that we always say. Anyway, I digress. God is working overtime for us. He is putting in that work behind the scenes, both literally and figuratively. But we have to meet him halfway on everything. On everything. We can't expect him to do all of the work. I mean, and I'm sure you know a family member or a friend or a colleague or coworker or whatever that expect someone else to do all of the work while they just sit back and do nothing. They just sit back and do nothing, and then it's like, well, I'm just waiting. Well, what are you waiting for? I'm waiting for him to finish so I can just come in and swoop in. And no, you got to put your own skin in the game, so to speak. That's one of those terms I recently heard in dealing with real estate and investments and things of that nature. You got to have skin in the game, meaning that you have to have time invested. You have to have effort invested. You have to have something invested in order to get an ROI. Now, all my business people, where you at? Holler if you hear me.
Bruh.
ROI, return on investment. You got to have some skin in the game. You have to meet God halfway. It's like I'll give you an example. Let's say you want or feel that you deserve a certain type of job. You want good pay, because you want to have this. You want to be able to go here and go there. You want to get paid a certain amount or whatever. Let's say you find a job like that, but you don't spruce up your resume. You don't, learn anything about the company, because the job could be paying you whatever, but is it a good fit for you? Did you do any research about the job, or research about the position? What is all going to entail? I mean, they give you a little description, but that's just a snapshot. That's just eye candy, That's just eye candy. That's just to get you in the door, so to speak, just to get you to apply. And then you got all these duties and responsibilities. Hey, this wasn't on the website. This was not on the website. What am I doing here? But a lot of people will not take that initiative. They'll just wait and say, well, the job is going to come find me. What? So you're not going to do anything. You're not going to work on yourself in the meantime? I mean, why don't you have a job now? Was it your attitude? Was it your, being late to work? Maybe you weren't on time. Maybe you just had, or whatever the case may be. Like, what was it? But if you do not work on yourself in the meantime, when God does bring that opportunity to you, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to be situated. You're not going to be ready to jump on that opportunity. That's why you have to, in the meantime, between whatever time that you have to yourself, if you're getting out of a bad relationship, don't jump into another relationship. If you're getting out of a bad situation at work, don't just jump into another situation at work until you work on yourself in the meantime. Are you someone that is ready to strike out on their own and get their first apartment? You and your roommates are all ready and set to go to live the good life and pretty much get your life started? Or are you about to leave college and looking for a new place to live in a new city with your new degree? Well, guess what? There's a company called Credit Rent Boost that will allow you to get credit for the rent that you pay and get it reported to the credit bureaus. This will not only allow you to boost your credit, but also set you up long term so when you are ready to make your first purchase as a homeowner. So give them a try. CreditRentBoost.com, and you can use promotion code OVM24522. So you have to have time. You have to have time for yourself to kind of say, you know what, let me work on me. Maybe I need to change my attitude. Maybe I need to change my outlook. Maybe I need to change a few things so that way I can be the best, teammate, worker, whatever, that I can be. Rather than just sitting, waiting for something to just happen. I think that's why we have so many people who are unhappy with their current situations or just unhappy with themselves in life, period. They just don't know because they're trying to control everything. And when they realize that they can't control everything, they get frustrated. Things aren't happening as fast as they would like. Things are not happening the way that they want them to happen. And then what happens? They quit. Now they're mad at themselves for quitting, but they have too much pride to admit, yeah, I'm mad at myself for quitting. It's always someone else's fault. It was always something else. It was this, it was that. No, you just quit. And then that opportunity that would have come to you, that blessing, that what God was working on behind the scenes, it goes to someone else who was doing the work, who did not quit. It is not a race thing. It is not a background thing. It's not even a culture thing. This is about you and your inability to understand that you cannot control every aspect of life. We would like to. I'm with you. I don't like to leave anything not in my control to anyone else. I don't like to do that. I like to have as much control as possible. However, I do understand that there are things outside of my control. So what I try to do is make sure that I control what I can. I have to understand what I can't control. And once I do that, I said the rest, I leave it up to him. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to fret. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to moan, however long it takes. Because he wants to know that we're faithful and that we're going to believe that he is going to come through for us when he says he will. So why would you quit when he's putting in that overtime work for us? Have you ever thought of possibly starting your own podcast? Well, I can tell you firsthand they can feel overwhelming if you don't know where to get started, and that's where Buzzsprout comes in. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch a professional podcast, already helping over 100,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout will get your podcast into every major podcasting platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. You also will get a great-looking podcasting website and so much more. To start your own podcast and get a $20 Amazon gift card, follow the link in the show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you and helps support our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast. The more work that we do within our control, the less variables exist to offset what he planned for us.
Ooh.
You got to think about it like that. The more work that we actually do, we're not sitting around waiting. We're not sitting around hoping. If there's a call that needs to be made, if there's a class we need to take, if there's a certificate that we need to get, guess what? If it's for us, he's going to make a way for us to get that. We still have to put in the work. We still have to put in the effort. We have to still put in the energy. We have to go in with the mindset that there will be obstacles, that there will be trouble. I don't know why most of us think that if anything that we're working hard for or working hard to get, that there won't be obstacles. Like, what? Any goal that you're trying to achieve, there will be obstacles, people. There will be those so-called trials and tribulations.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you come to face with them, if you understand that they were going to be there in the first place, it's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be a shock. And you're going to say, oh, you showed up finally. I was waiting for you. And you're going to have a positive mindset on dealing with any negativity. I know it's hard. Trust me. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes willpower. It takes willpower to say, you know what? I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm not going to have something that I want taken from me because I did not do my part. You know how they would say that a lot of people will fight, if their back is against the wall. Like you have no other choice but to fight. That's what you have to do. You have to kind of look at every situation that you're fighting for, whether you're fighting for, a better job, a better career, a different career. You want to go back to school. You want to kind of get some sort of certification or something to that effect. Guess what? If you are fighting for it, it will show in your actions. Quitting is an action, but it's an action of inaction. I said that.
You said it yourself.
I just said that just now. I'm dropping bars, people. Drop a hashtag bars. Hit me up on Twitter, hashtag bars. Quitting is an action, but quitting is an action of inaction. Because when you're quitting, you're stopping something. You're stopping your momentum. You're stopping your progress. You're stopping any possibility of success. I'm sure all of us, when we were kids, we all wanted to be rich. We wanted to have the big house, the fancy cars, the women or the men, if you were women. You wanted to have it all. But when you're kids, you don't really think about how much work goes into having even a small percentage of that. But as you get older and you come into adulthood, you begin to realize, wow, I have to get up a little bit earlier. I have to stay a little bit later. I have to kind of organize a little bit more. I have to have some sort of structure. Most people who have little to no success in life, they don't have any structure. So what do? They quit. And then they become stagnant, and then time goes by. Remember, time doesn't wait for us. Time does not sit there and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to slow down so they can get themselves together. No, time does not do that. Time does not do that. Time continues to move, and before you know it, 2 years have gone by, 3 years have gone by. And then we bring out the all famous woulda, shoulda, coulda. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Oh, I would have done that. I could have done that, but it was this, or but it was that. I stopped, blah, blah, blah. The only time quitting has ever benefited anyone is if it was something that they were quitting that was harming them to begin with. They quit drinking, they quit smoking, they quit doing drugs. You know, they quit snacking after hours, you know, as they were trying to lose weight. So they quit. Then and only then does quitting, it actually is a benefit. But for the most part, why would we waste God's overtime and when he's working on us? No one wants to have to start over, back to square one, back to the drawing board. Remember, quitting is an action of inaction, and we don't want that. But what we do want is for you to drop a mic on that like button for your boy YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining the Enter the Cypher podcast. I am your host, Cypher the MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs. And as always, before you love anyone else, you must first love yourself. And I am out this thing. Cypher.
Let me tell you dudes what I do to protect this. Shoot at you actors like movie directors.